Hi, Sumit here. I hope all of you are doing great. I'm doing amazing. I'm content within myself. And since I've moved alone to a mountain village, I feel more content and close to myself, close to the nature, away from all expectations, etc. Today, I wanted to speak about a very important topic: avoiding difficult conversations in all possible relationships. We've been brought up in a time where making other people feel happy is our basic setting, default, that we just want to program ourselves to please other people, and we end up not having all those difficult conversations that were necessary for any particular relationship or anything, not only relationships, but difficult conversations about religion, difficult conversations with your boss, with your managers, difficult conversations probably with your landlord, maybe. But in this video, I would cover how avoiding difficult conversations in relationships specifically doesn't, make them better, doesn't keep them alive. In fact, it kills them inside like a termite. It eats them. I have been in relationships, mostly, most importantly, romantic relationships. So I would tell you something about myself, that I am a person who loves to communicate, who loves to talk, who loves to listen, have a good time, and talk my heart out, share everything that I want to with the people who are close to me. And so I want to know things as well. What the best dogs do is, when they are close to each other, they lick each other out of love. We human beings don't lick each other. We talk because we can talk. We can make each other listen to our hearts, our thoughts, etc., our ideas. And I've always wanted to talk on a deeper level with any of my romantic relationships, any partner. I have been like that forever, I would say. However, I have compromised so much with people who were not as ready to have difficult conversations in the relationships. You know what is the important of having those difficult conversations is, it opens you up. It tells you a lot about your partner. It tells you a lot about yourself, about your own expectations from your relationships, not only romantic but all sorts of relationships. The more socially conservative people are, the more avoidant they are of these difficult conversations in relationships, because they fear, they want to please. And apart from these two particular reasons, there could be other reasons. I never understood them because I have always been open to conversations. I've always been open to questions. If I'm close to somebody and if they are curious about my life, myself, I am very interested in talking to them, sharing my thoughts. Only if they are interested. People who are not interested in that is another topic. But I have been very interested in knowing people. And if people were interested in knowing myself, I would be very open to let them know. Because what is there to hide? What is there to manipulate? People are teaching these days how to manipulate into relationships, specifically romantic ones, how to manipulate your partner so that he respects you more or she craves you more or they lust over you, how to play mental games. This is being taught today, and there are teachers, there are coaches for that. Do not reply as you know the moment you see their message. Do not receive the call immediately. It might break your self-worth in front of them. So play games, play mental games with people who you want to love or who you want to be loved from. And we learn this, and we learn this. We start playing games, and we have been so manipulated by these social structures that we actually start disrespecting our partners over these things. We women specifically, I would talk about the ladies feel that if he is replying so quickly, oh, he is such a loser. And so all these games, and so people play these games and try avoid some crucial conversations that could, if we would let relationships natural, right, then those conversations would happen automatically. It's like therapy, as I mentioned earlier, that dogs and cats lick each other. They lick each other to show love, to share ideas, to share their thoughts, to share at least their mental state, that they're comfortable. But we human beings had the capacity to talk our thoughts, to share those. But we have started being manipulative with our own loved one people. And so we play tricks and we start avoiding important topics. We hang them intentionally or unintentionally. And those tricks hamper relationships, which were supposed to be, you know, groundbreaking in a relationship, which was supposed to be keeping relationships intact, keeping each other interested in us. People play games so that the other person doesn't lose interest, so they don't think that we are a loser or we are just so desperate about them. Like the moment we start playing these games, the moment we start manipulating our own loved ones, is the moment that love ends and games enter in our relationships. I have been influenced by such ideas at one point of time, but I would never be now. Even if I am with a person who believes in these ideas and who feels that I am such a desperate human being for them, and I reply quickly and I receive their call ASAP as I see them. And I do not want to make them feel that I am so busy, even despite I'm not. Despite not being busy, I would never show them that I have a particular image. Whatever image I have, I do not have to show it. And so I won't do it, even if they do it. And I would understand that I would understand people who are trying to be manipulative. Although there were times where I understood that the other person is playing this game of delaying their gratitude to keep me interested in them. I understood that, but I accepted it as a form of, I didn't rationalize it then. I didn't question it then. And in this manner only, this manipulative game of tricking each other, in the same manner we avoid difficult conversations which cost us our relationships. I have been in situations where my own people avoided the most crucial conversations because the society is so numb. They have left the idea of compassion. They just want to avoid conversations, even beautiful ones, even the inquisitive ones, the curious ones, where I am really curious, asking my parents about a certain thing. But I have felt avoidant. I have felt being avoided by my ex as well. Not that I can say that they did it that intentionally or unintentionally. I can't sense that. I couldn't sense that. And even if I could, I wouldn't name it with all my surety. I can't, because I can't, enter their brains, what their mental state would have been. So I gave it a reason that they did not have the understanding that how important these difficult conversations are about a relationship. By difficult conversations, what I mean is having conversations about your existential thoughts. This is the most important topic that a couple should talk about. What are your thoughts on existence? What are your thoughts on women? What are your thoughts on society? What are your thoughts on religion, politics, etc.? And we can't say that, oh no, I am not interested in that, so I don't know. No. But even if you are not interested, you could have some thought. Religious people, atheist people, they both have their point of views on religion. Political people, non-political people, they have their own thoughts on politics. Artists, non-artists, they have their own point of view on art. Some look down on it, some look at it with admiration. And if people do not have a view on some of the most important topics in which are running around us, which is happening around us, that means they're not even aware. They're not even self-aware that they should question something. And the moment people get into a state of not questioning anything, at least the important things like religion, politics, marriage, having children, relationship with parents, siblings, society. If people do not question about these things, that I do not think that they are ready and mature enough to have a relationship, to love someone else, because they don't even love themselves. Loving yourselves comes at a cost of being aware. And unless you are aware, you are loving other people, you are living for other people. A state of mind of loving yourself doesn't only come from verbalizing this sentence that I love myself. People start writing in their notebooks that I love myself. People start taking care of themselves physically. That is not love. No, that is not self-love. The definition of self-love, whatever is written in the dictionary, etc., I don't know about that. But to me, the definition of self-love should be how desperately you want yourself to be in a state of freedom and contentment. And if anything is snatching these two things away from you, and you are letting it, and you mention on your social media or to your friends or your peers, your circle, that you love yourself, then you are lying. You don't even understand the meaning of self love. And unless people are aware about their surroundings, they cannot love themselves. We are not as consciously unaware like other animals. We are consciously more aware. We are consciously more capable, right? So whatever is happening around us, and if that has made us numb to not question it, we can't call it self love. And people who can't self love can't love you. And so I observed and realized that people who are avoiding all those conversations are those people exactly who are physically unhealthy, who are mentally unhealthy. Are you getting my point? I mean, people who are aware about the entire structures and have conversations to have. Because conversation is a mode of putting your thoughts out, putting your ideas out that might hurt you if you don't put them out. The way I do. I put my ideas out because I am aware. I put my ideas out on through this channel, and through writing, through talking to myself, and probably sometimes with people who are courageous enough to talk about all of this, because people are not. I have never found one person who didn't get upset in the middle of a conversation, because existential topics are so draining. But I am so done with the small talks. I can't ask my friends, what did you have for the breakfast? I may ask it out of concern or out of curiosity or out of love, but my main topic would not be that. I will ask my friend what are their thoughts on life. What do they do to make themselves happy? So if they are doing it in a catastrophic way, I can help them. And if they are doing it any better, then I can seek their guidance. I don't want to know what body part did they train at the gym today. That's not of any use. Like, people talk about anything because their existence has been put onto a shallow platform. So they avoid every existential topic, every difficult conversation. And people who avoid difficult conversations are not good people. You sharing the most private, intimate, and personal spaces with people, and they are not able to share their ideas, their deepest thoughts with you. Like, this is just lusting over their bodies. People are comfortable sharing their bodies, but they are not comfortable sharing their thoughts. What would happen if you share your thoughts? Two extremes. The relationships might get better, or the relationships would break. Either way, you are in an advantage. If you lose people, you will lose those people who are not meaningful for you. If people leave you for your deep ability to think, and that triggers their mindset, and which makes them think that they are stupid, and they're not able to think that much, that they are you know confounded in their society, their parental structure, then if you lose those people, that's a good thing. And if you could relate to them, and if they could relate to you, that could turn into a beautiful relationship for your future. So avoiding difficult conversations existential conversations, hard topics, topics that are considered controversial, etc. You get to know people. And so the question is, if you want to love people for their physical appearance, their bodies, etc., or do you want to be with people with whose minds you relate, that you love their brains, their thinking, their thought process? It's your choice, and it is your choice to be vulnerable enough in front of your partner, to be open about your existential thought, which will give you an idea if they will leave or they will stay. That's it. I hope you would have got something from this. Share your opinions in the comment section and subscribe if you want to have more of it, more conversation. See you next time. Bye.